Joe, it's been about a month or so since we last caught up. How's the summer been going so far?
Good to see you again, Mark. Actually, it feels like a long time. Busy, I've got to say busy. I haven't managed to get away myself yet. I know the players have. Lots and lots of negotiations. First and foremost, as I said, the end of last season was to speak and give the players a respect, the ones that are leaving. And it's never easy. That's quite a sad thing to do, actually. It's not something I enjoy. So the ones that have gone, we wish them all the best, and you've seen that, and that's been announced. But certainly moving forward, been some real positive communication between myself and players. Certainly in regards to the ones I want to keep. We're well down the road, and as you'll see that we've got some over the line recently. I appreciate it's been quite quiet, but on the other hand, it's been a lot of due diligence, a lot of research, a lot of talking, a lot of finding out about individuals. What I didn't want to do is rush into any signings. Certainly on ones that we're going to get that we've not experienced before and not sort of had conversations with. But we are down the road with a few of them as well. So I'm excited. I'm really positive about what we're going to get over the line. If we do get what I perceive could be the squad, then I'm really excited about how it looks. It will be new look. I'm not going to hide away from the fact. But it will be a team that I think is going to be really competitive in the National League South.
What are we talking numbers-wise of players? Because I know that you were frustrated a lot of how we were lacking in lots of games. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I've got to say, me and Paul have worked tirelessly since really the 2 weeks to the end of the last season. Really, we'd employed John Hale as well, and that's going to be announced. Obviously, John's coming as a scout and does some recruitment stuff for me, so he was out watching players already. We hit that spreadsheet thereafter, spoke to players, and we're going to look at probably trying to get an 18, 19-man squad. The budget and the spreadsheet's ever evolving, if you like, because there'll be players on it that suddenly will not be realistic to where we wanted to go. So whenever I bring up a player, it goes into that spreadsheet and it adds to the total. And then you take a couple away, and then obviously it leaves you a little bit of surplus money. So that's ever evolving, but we're trying to get to 18, 19. The loans we take in this year will be very supportive within the squad. I don't envisage any of them starting, apart from maybe in a goalkeeping position. We've highlighted who we want to come in there. There is a couple of other loans that we're quite serious about, that I've spoken to the parent club about. But let's see how that evolves as well. But the core of the team, like I spoke about, needs to be that 18 that are contracted players that are fairly local as well. There's not going to be a lot of travelling. We have missed out on a couple, Mark, as well. So we've done a lot of work, and on a couple of players, we sort of went the extra mile, and we missed out. They were so impressed with the football club. We actually took them to the training ground, but the distance just killed that one. And what I didn't want to do was have a player or a couple of players that weren't comfortable with travelling and training, because in the end that will take its toll on a Saturday and on a match day. So no, we've worked ever so hard, and we're continuing to do that as well. And like I said, there'll be some more announcements next week for sure.
You're looking to strengthen in all positions then, Jerry?
Pretty much, Mark, yeah. I mean, the key area has been the back four. That's been a lot of our focus. You say that, but obviously midfield, the players just suddenly get thrown at you and then you focus on that area. But back four is an area where we conceded way too many goals last year, and that's not blaming any individual at all. So there will be some new personnel coming into that, key signings and really good characters. Like I said, I've done my due diligence on these people as well now, so it's important we get that right. We think they're going to add to the group and improve us for sure. There will be huge competition in midfield areas. I feel as if we didn't have enough control in central pitch last year. I felt as if that we became a team, and it needs must. We went in quite direct, and we scored from crosses or a bit of magic from an individual. We want to try and certainly control games a little bit better. We certainly want to play out from the back a bit more as well, back to what we used to be. Switches of play here at Twerton Park we'd seen over the years as well, which we'd come away from. Key signings in that, the ones we have done to date now as I talk, is Jack Batten's re-signed, which is great. Jack's been pivotal in everything I've been about and we've been about as a football club since I come in. Understands how I work, how the football club works, and understands what it takes to play in the National League South, having played over 200 games now. Joe Rains, huge signing, a lot of interest for Joe. I know a few people may have been concerned, but he was never not going to sign for Bath City. He was just making sure we got the right deal for Joe. He's earned that deal as well, so I'm pleased that he's over the line. Then you add to that, and you've got likes of Rex Mannings. Rex is going to be a project for us, but these projects sometimes turn into players like Joe when he first come in from Fremont trial to starting in the team. So it's down to Rex. He very much knows it's a chance for him, an opportunity to play at a higher level. I'd watched him twice in the games we played. He scored against us over at Frome. been over and watched him in league games. Our scouts watched him, and I saw him in a playoff game as well. So he's really excited, and I am, to work with him when he comes back in pre-season. So yeah, there's some key ones there. I'm probably missing out a few, but just mindful about when this video is going out, and if I have missed a few, it's probably because of the timings. But yeah, we're excited by what's ahead. A lot of hard work still to get to that 18-19, and some might come in late. We might start pre-season, you might get the odd one or two that's late. Up top, I will add to it with a couple. As I know, Cody Cook and Elliot Freer scoring 39 goals between them. Elliot Freer, did I mention him?
Alex Fletcher,
Alex Fletcher, yeah. Alex Fletcher and Elliot also on the left, and he was really key. He hit some real good form as well, and that's the most games he's played in his career, actually, in a season, for a long time. So yeah, so we've got a lot. Dave Sims-Burgess has been offered a deal, but we're just waiting on that one as well to see how that one comes out. And there will be a lot of to and fro between this period, but like I say, we're pretty much set. And if we get what I want, what I think is possible for the squad, then it's going to be a good squad, and it'll be competitive for the new National League South, which again is going to be stronger. But I'll need to get away myself for a bit. I'm gonna need a little bit of recovery and rest, and then be freshened up and ready to go again back on the 28th of June.
One of the first announcements that Ryan Clark's taking a new role within the club, which he seems very happy with. Both works well for both parties, but presumably that means you'll need a new captain as well. Got any ideas on who's your point?
Yeah, I've got an idea, and some players have put themselves forward as well, which is nice to see. I've got an idea on my preferred captain, so that'll be announced in obviously due course. But on Ryan himself, I know I spoke about it before, but he's absolutely delighted to take this role. When you meet a player, and I've met a lot obviously over the last couple of weeks, you sometimes see in them that you want to work with them there after their playing career. And Ryan was one of them. As soon as I met him, I liked the way he came across. He was professional. When someone of that age has looked after his body that well for that long, it shows the dedication and professionalism in him. I'm really pleased to have him as part of my staff. It'll evolve his role slightly. You know, at times he will be the number 2 on a Saturday. We're going to have a younger keeper in as a training goalkeeper that may evolve and end up as a 2 as well. And as I said, we're going to have a new number 1 as well. That's going to be Ryan's project. He's really excited about coaching. He does coaching now back in Oxfordshire, and he becomes a different person when he's doing that as well. So he's got lots of enthusiasm for it, lots of energy. He's really creative. We want the keepers worked hard within our DNA, and I'm looking forward to working with Ryan in this slightly different role, and almost being that little go-between the staff and players as well. So he's going to learn completely new, different techniques as a person, as a staff member, but he's going to be a great addition as well.
You said you're going to try and squeeze in a break, presumably at some point. Then after then, we've got the friendlies start. 8 of them lined up. Happy with the ones you've got planned? Really
happy, yeah. I know there's the 3 in block together, but that's very much on 60-30, so we'll swap the minutes around. Again, we'll have enough personnel for that. If you think back to last pre-season, there was a lot of players actually had to endure 90 minutes, which isn't ideal in pre-season. So we'll ensure that we get those minutes right. It's very much around minutes and not results. It'll be very much about building our style back up again. Very much about patterns and drilling loads and loads of sessions into the boys. Of course, there's a fitness base to go as well, and make sure that they've all gone away with closed season programmes. Aaron Hopkinson, our sports scientist, done a fantastic job and sent away individual programmes they're all working on. Their first day back is going to be a screening and testing day now. So normally we get straight on the balls, but the medical staff have all met together. They've come up with how that day looks, so it won't be so much from me, it'll be more of an introductory day. And then over to the medical team, and there'll be varied testing, screening going on for the individuals, which we'll then use thereafter. It's no good doing these things if you don't use them thereafter. And some of them will be strengthening programs where they might be weak in their ankles or knees they'll use throughout the course of the season. And also some we can retest once they've either been injured or we feel like we need to retest the group physically. So all that's in place. Kit's been ordered, usual stuff. So really excited for the supporters to see our new playing kit. The home and away kit is fantastic. I also want to thank all the supporters for, I think it's now over 260 season tickets that have now been bought to date. That's the biggest number for years. I think the closing on the early bird is on Monday. So if you haven't, please ensure you get yourself out there and try and take advantage of what's a really good deal actually. You save over £100 I think it is within that deal to come and watch some really good football. The support last year, I have to talk about it, was immense. Year on it just builds and builds, it gets more vocal. As I said from the outset, it's more diverse. We see a lot of young people, females, we see so many young students coming down. and it's great to see that in Twerton Park. And once again, I just want to say thank you for those who have taken up the offer of this early bird. It's such a good deal, and hopefully we can add a few more before that closes on Monday, and look forward to seeing them all here on our first game.
It's been unusual compared to last season when, of course, you had about 6 months, it felt like, to plan for this one. What's it been like being back to a normal type of schedule?
Yeah, it feels like there's not been a break because it's such a short window, obviously, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to grab a holiday if I can, but I'm so focused on making sure we get the recruitment right, Marcus. You live and die by your recruitment, and we're trying to get that spot on this year. You're not going to get every single one right. We will make a couple of mistakes. Hopefully it won't be in character, that's for sure. But yeah, we feel as if we've done all the preparation. Like I said, our preparation, because we weren't in a position where we were going to be in around the playoffs, we had another agenda, but we were planning quite early. So once all those games were in, we knew how pre-season was going to look. We started to then look at the league and what players we felt as if we needed within our DNA and what profile of player we wanted, because the league has changed. Let's not get away from that. The quality of the league is now a lot higher. But also the league is now, and I tweeted something the other day, I'm actually looking forward to not spending so many hours on the coach and so many miles, because we've got more local games. And I say local in regards of, obviously we've got Taunton Town that have come up, another local derby. I'm sure we'll get big gates for that one. Obviously we have the Chippenham one, of course, and then Weymouth have come down. And I think back to the games when we played against Weymouth, over 2,000 fans in here as well. So there's a lot of exciting games. New teams are coming in, your likes of Worthing, who I know are going to be a very good outfit. Farnborough spending lots of money. You're spending your time looking at other teams, and some teams are doing their business really early. But we've been quite patient, and that's not. I haven't been patient in regard I haven't been doing any work. We've just kept the conversations ongoing, and making sure we do our due diligence and making sure it's actually spot on, and we understand what we're getting in a player every time that we sit down and speak to them. We get a different spin on it. Paul's been involved in it as well. Paul's met a few players and myself. We've taken away different. We've gone out to food with players so they act different and feel different. And so we're excited by it. A lot of work still to do, but hopefully come pre-season we'll have the majority of the squad in.
It whet your appetite? There's going to be more games next season, guaranteed, than last year's. It's going to be 46 in the league, of course. Yeah, absolutely. And listen, there's no resting place in the league, is there? Because was it 4 go down in it this year in the league? So, if you're mid-table as well, we want to be looking, and we want to be trying to get where we know we want to be. I'm not going to come out and make any big statements to where I think we should be, but what I'm going to say is the squad will be a lot better, we feel, in character and in quality than what we had last season. And as I said, that's not detriment to any individual at all. It's just about what we had, and a lot of that, as you spoke about earlier, was in numbers. We didn't have enough strength. So when we got an illness or an injury, we didn't really have the quality to go in like for like. But this year, we're hoping we have. At times there will be players sat here in the stand, and we understand it as a football club, a board and players, or the players will day one, that some days you might be sat here, but other days you're going to be needed out on the pitch. And that's the environment that we want. We want a competitive one. So if I'm Joe Raines playing at right back, or if I'm Elliot Freer playing high on a left side or a right side, I know I've got to play well to stay in the team, because there's someone actually in my position who wants to go and take my place. And that just breeds healthy competition within the environment. The biggest thing, as usual, pre-season is combining it all together. You've got your characters, you've got your players, and making sure that that group is really tight-knit. We have a bit of fun pre-season, we work ever so hard, and we build that good spirit that carries you all the way through the season. The spirit we saw for the last 8 games that we need to take forward, add into it with a lot more quality, and produce a team that looks like a Bath City team and goes and gets results, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.